You wake up every morning, telling yourself today will be different. Today you'll finally start. Today you'll be disciplined. Today you'll become the person you've always wanted to be. And then, you don't. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack motivation, but because deep inside your skull, there's a voice, a quiet one, and it keeps whispering the same thing. You're not that kind of person. That voice, it's the most dangerous force in your psychology. And until you understand it, nothing changes. This is the identity trap. Here's what most self-help won't tell you. Your actions don't shape your identity. Your identity shapes your actions. Read that again. Every time you try to build a new habit, start a new routine, or push toward a goal, your brain runs a background check. It asks one question: is this who I am? If the answer is no, the behavior dies. Not today, not tomorrow, but slowly, silently, like a plant in a room with no light. A person who believes they're bad with money will sabotage every budget they create. Someone who identifies as not a morning person will hit snooze until the alarm itself gives up. The smoker who says, "I'm trying to quit," is fundamentally different from the one who says, "I don't smoke." Same behavior, completely different wiring. Psychologists call this the self-concept maintenance cycle. It works like this. You hold a belief about yourself. That belief filters which actions feel natural. Those actions produce results, and those results, whether good or bad, become proof that your belief was right all along. It's a closed loop, a psychological echo chamber. If you believe you're undisciplined, you act undisciplined. When you fail, you point to it and say, "See, I knew it. That's just who I am." The trap isn't that you can't change. The trap is that your brain doesn't want to, because change threatens identity. And identity, to the brain, is survival. Your brain is not interested in who you want to become. It is obsessed with who you already are. Neuroscience shows that self-identity is encoded in the medial prefrontal cortex, the same region involved in decision-making and future planning. When you encounter information that conflicts with your self-image, this region activates a threat response. Literally, your brain treats a challenge to your identity the same way it treats a physical threat. This is why criticism stings. This is why compliments from people who see you differently feel uncomfortable. This is why the moment you start succeeding, really succeeding, a part of you panics. Because success requires a new identity, and the old one doesn't leave without a fight. So how do you escape? You don't fight the identity. You replace it, piece by piece. And it starts with the smallest possible unit of change, a single decision that contradicts the old story. You don't need to become a completely different person by Monday. You need one moment, one choice, where you act as if you already are who you want to be. The person who wants to be a writer doesn't need to finish a novel. They need to write one paragraph and say, "I wrote today." Writers write. I am a writer. That's not affirmation, that's evidence. And evidence is the only currency your brain respects. Researchers call this identity-based change. Instead of setting goals and hoping behavior follows, you flip the sequence. You decide who you want to be first. Then you let every small action serve as a vote for that identity. Each vote is tiny, insignificant on its own, but they compound. One workout doesn't make you an athlete, but 30 consecutive days of showing up, your brain starts rewriting the story. The self-concept shifts. The actions that once felt forced begin to feel natural. You stop performing discipline You start being disciplined. That's the shift from effort to identity, from willpower to wiring. But here's the part nobody talks about. The old identity fights back. Hard. You'll have a great week, disciplined, focused, productive, and then, one morning, you'll slip. You'll skip the workout. You'll waste 3 hours scrolling. You'll eat the thing you said you wouldn't eat. And in that moment, the old voice returns, louder than before. See? You haven't changed. You never will. This is the most dangerous moment in the entire process, because it feels like truth. It feels like proof, but it's not. It's a test. The old identity doesn't die quietly. It stages comebacks. It uses your failures as ammunition. The only way through is to treat every relapse not as evidence of who you are, but as a reminder of who you're leaving behind. But here's the part nobody talks about. Identity is not fixed. It never was. The labels you carry, lazy, average, broken, not enough, they were written by moments, not by truth. By experiences you survived, not by some cosmic verdict on your worth. And if they were written, they can be rewritten. Not with motivation, not with a vision board, not with someone else's morning routine, but with the quiet, relentless act of choosing differently. One micro-decision at a time, until the new story has more evidence than the old one. That's how identity shifts. Not in earthquakes, in whispers. You don't need to overhaul your life tonight. You need one decision, one act, one vote for the person you're becoming. The identity trap only works as long as you believe the old story is the only story. It's not. Start writing a new one, and this time, don't ask for permission.